This is a story about a deadly tooth and a paleontologist named Jack Sang.
I like to study animals that look weird or awesome.
And few animals look as weird and awesome as the saber-toothed cat, Smilodon fatalis.
Their mouths are their weapons, and that's part of the draw to study them. It's just, what were these animals doing? They're so weird looking.
Imagine you're in Los Angeles, 30,000 years ago.
And if you come across a Smilodon, it would probably look like a mountain lion on steroids, and the teeth would not be hidden from under the fur. It would be showing. So it's pretty scary looking. And if you're close enough to see those features, you probably are dead.
These teeth are not to be trifled with. Some could grow nearly a foot long.
And oftentimes they are serrated, just like steak knives.
The saber has evolved 6 times in different lineages.
That's evidence for that tool being a great weapon for carnivores.
But just how the saber-tooth used its weapons, well, that's a matter of hot debate. Some people have suggested
they could not hunt because they look so awkward.
But Jack says that theory couldn't cut hot butter.
If you're a scavenger, you probably would not need that extreme of a tool. And another idea is that they didn't really use them to hunt. They just looked sexy with them.
But most agree that these mouth daggers had but one purpose.
Killing tools, stabbing tools, or cutting tools. And then you sort of make this surgical cut on the neck, hopefully severing either a major artery or the windpipe. And then they can actually use the back teeth, the cutting teeth, to just shear off pieces of the prey.
Your blood is starting to run cold from terror and revulsion.
Pretty much, yeah. And people, I don't know if other people do it. I do it in my office. I try to reenact, sometimes with different skulls when nobody's looking. So the cat would prowl very low and slowly, stealthily into the prey. And then at the last moment, it would probably just hop. And then use its powerful neck musculature to drive the canines into the throat.
Many mysteries remain about these animals. The one Jack and his colleagues wanted to solve was, how long did it take these sabers to grow? To figure it out, they looked at fossils from the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. They employed a combination of technologies, CT scans,
because CT uses X-ray to blast through these fossils or bones,
and created 3D images of the teeth. They also looked at the chemical composition of the teeth. This tells them about the tooth growth rate. You see, teeth absorb nutrients as they grow.
There's some natural fluctuation in the composition of elements over the course of a year that you can actually see a seasonal cycle.
And they found Smilodon sabers grew about 6 millimeters per month.
And that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you put it into context, human fingernails, for example, grow at about 3.4 millimeters per month.
Lions. Their canines grow half as fast, but it still takes Smilodon longer than most modern big cats to finish growing their extra long teeth.
To grow a 7-inch saber, it would take up to 3 years.
And this tells us a little about the life of baby saber-tooths.
Since it took longer to grow these weapons, it probably would have been beneficial for the cubs to be following their parents, or for the parents to care for the cubs for a longer period of time.
And this is the wonder of modern paleontology. You can start to understand and even imagine the life of a baby saber-toothed cub, an animal that went extinct 10,000 years ago just by studying some ancient teeth yanked out of a tar pit in LA.